So what happened was, this is a kitchenware company, kitchenware like oven, like all these pans and stuff like that, right? So it's based in Malaysia. So what happens to them was the e-commerce sales, which is the sales dropped by over 60%. Out of sudden, and this, we are talking about a successful campaign that we have here, meaning they have been running for 3 weeks, as in like they have been running, the whole campaign has been running well for 3 weeks. Everything was doing good until the previous week. They suddenly had a drop of 60% in terms of the sales and the ROAS as well, and they reached out for help. So what happened was we dive in. So basically, from our finding here is very simple. Because for e-commerce, right, we have all these metrics that we would be tracking. So all metrics remain positive, okay? As in like similar from the previous period. Everything was good. It's just the sale that really dropped significantly. So this is actually very normal. But what most people would do when this kind of situation happened to their campaign, they will just pause the campaign and they probably duplicate, or they probably just restart everything, right? It's exactly what I mean by you are potentially killing a campaign that has no problem at all. You get what I mean? It's totally so common. So many people just kill a campaign because they feel like it and they never learn from it. It's a shame, to be frank. I've got a lot of good campaign that was killed. And when we dive in and look at it, like I was asking, why did you kill this campaign 2 months ago? Oh, just because 1 week it was not performing. So we kind of restart the whole thing. But I was like, look, back then, the ROAS was at about like 3.5. Now, no matter how hard you fight for this, you are not reaching even 3 ROAS for your campaign right now for whatever you do. You have been having this kind of lower than 3 ROAS for the past 2 months now, but 3 months ago, you had this campaign that were doing well, but because of 1 week low time, you kill it. So that's the key. So basically, when it comes to this kind of situation, as usual, we dive in, right? So over here, as we can see, outbound 1,000, okay, the week before. And the last week, outbound was 998, was almost the same. And then the content view was almost the same. And this is almost like a 3x kind of content view, which is good, because in my opinion, if you are running an e-commerce business, especially you have a very huge SKU in your store, your content view from outbound should be this kind of number. We want it to be bigger, all right? So 1,000 to 3,000 over here, and last week was 998 to 2008, which is actually almost the same if you look at it, right? And the add to cart was pretty identical. We were having about like a 10% add to cart. So if we actually look at all these numbers, in fact, of course, we will be looking at a CTR and everything was all good. I don't want to mention it over here. But over here, this is a very healthy campaign. It's just that the last week, which is the one with the 297 add to cart, we had 60% lesser conversion. So when it comes to this kind of situation, what I would usually do is I would ask questions about, was there anything happen in the last week in your country? Was there any festival? Was there any big events? Or was there any anything happened to your country, which is significantly impacting the user behavior of the society? Is there anything like that? So usually that's the angle that we look into it, because you see, you have to always understand when you're running ads, 50% on the ad, 50% on the journey, but there are many other factors that may affect the performance of the campaign. User behavior is totally something that you have no control over, okay? And events, festives and all that are also something that you have no seasonal things. Like, for example, we know that when we are actually running ads for the Black Friday, CPM is going to be shit. It's going to be damn high. But can you not run ads? Because if your business is driven by the sales, then you have to run it, but you have to have a plan, like probably entering the market sooner than others. Probably you kind of like plan your budget allocation a little bit different so that you don't spend too much when the CPM is at a peak, but we do something earlier, or probably with the plan that we do the budget distribution slightly different to optimize the outcome, which is totally possible. Okay, so for this case, the direction was we totally rule out the ad factor as well. So for this case, we know that all the numbers on the ad level and even after the click at the e-commerce website level was doing very good. So nothing about the ad. So what happened was we went on and asked if there is anything happen at, like in the society at that point of time. So it turned out it was the start of a long school holiday. So for this case, because their audience are primarily parents, So the purchase intent of parents drop because they were busy with their kids. Like school holiday means they need to be extra busy to prepare for whatever, either to take them for a vacation, either to plan some activities for them and whatnot. So basically, they were not that ready to buy because they probably were traveling and they will know that, oh, if I buy now, then, when the shipment comes, they'll be having problem. I won't be able to, kind of like accept it, especially if I'm buying an oven, for example, right? I wouldn't be buying right now just because not because I'm not interested. It's just because it's not the right timing. So for this case, because all the metrics remain intact, even at the add to cart level, so we rule this as a periodical change. So my recommendation for this case was don't touch anything and give it at least another week or two and observe what to do next. So yes, there might be situation where you have a case that you have drop in sales, drop in leads and all that. You come to me and after I dissect everything and tell you that don't touch it. It's totally normal because that's also a decision. That's also a thing that we can do about it. Sometimes you just don't need to do anything about it. But this is what I am useful to a lot of my, Facebook advertisers clients, which is I am guiding them to make decision based on fact. This is not, as you can see, even up to this case right now, I don't do anything that plucks from the sky. I don't do anything that is based on my own gut feelings. Everything is based on numbers and metrics. And this is really how you should be approaching your Facebook advertising. Okay, so this is really what you need to learn. So if you have some, like significant drop in terms of your e-commerce sales and all that, you're not sure what to do, what's happening, and you want to find out, scan this QR code, and I would actually review a campaign for you and I'll build you a plan. So what we're going to do here is first thing first, I'll build a dashboard for you. So I'll draw all the metrics that are relevant to your campaign and I'll build it in this sequence for you in your ads manager so that you can always come back to it whenever you're ready. And then after that, I will analyze the campaign for you and to teach you how to do that. So basically, as we are analyzing and like guiding you how to analyze it, we will already capture important hypotheses from there. So eventually with all these hypotheses in place, I will build you a plan towards the end of the session. So basically in this plan, I'm going to tell you that let's do A first next week and followed by B if it happens. Otherwise, we don't do B and stuff like that. I'll build you a plan of things that you can do, hopefully to improve your campaign performance and to fix your problem, whatever that you are having in your kind of like troublesome Facebook ads campaign. So if that's what you want to do, scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you.